says, is it permissible for me to sit next to a girl in my college when my teacher tells me to do so? Actually, my teacher wants us to sit closer together in the classroom as there's only 5 of us and I'm the only male. Sheikh, I hope you can answer this question for me as I'm very anxious about this. First of all, there is no straightforward answer because cultures differ, countries differ, environments differ, consequences of such an action differ, and there are many factors that affect such a situation. Sitting next to a female or sitting to the opposite, next to the opposite gender is not haram for itself, because this happens in an airplane, this happens in a bus, this happens in a restaurant, this happens in the street. It is something called in Islam Saddu Dhari'ah, which is warding off harm or blocking the means. So it is not haram for itself, rather for what it may lead to. A very popular example for Saddu Dhara'i', which is lowering the gaze, meaning that looking at the opposite gender in Islam is prohibited. Allah says in the Quran, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُم. O Muhammad, instruct and order the believers, male believers, to lower their gaze, to lower from their gaze. يَغُضُّوا مِنْ, not يَغُضُّوا أَبْصَارَهُمْ, يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ, which means that Allah is telling us to lower some aspects of our gaze because other aspects are either halal or it can be necessary. So looking at the opposite gender is prohibited in Islam, not because looking itself is prohibited, but rather to what it may lead to. And this is why in the same ayah of Surah An-Nur, Allah says, وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُم, and observe and protect their chastity, their private parts, meaning that there is a relationship between sending your gaze and looking and enjoying what you see with transgression and either doing something haram such as fornication or anything else that is related to it. However, when we say warding off harm or blocking the means, this does not mean it is haram for itself, rather for what it may cause. And this is why lowering the gaze is permissible for you to go against if there's a need. For example, a physician, a doctor, when he has a female patient, he has to look and see where the illness is. If he says, I'll lower my gaze, I cannot look, I cannot check what is wrong, this is not logical, nor it is Islamic to begin with. Likewise, if someone is interested in marrying another one, and we tell him, Akhi, go and look at the one you're interested in marrying, because this would probably appeal to you, or you would not like to get married with her, so we call it off. He said, no, I can't look at her. I have to lower my gaze as Allah instructed. We say, Akhi, Allah also instructed us to look at our potential spouses so that this would cause harmony and chemistry, build up chemistry between us. So this is recommended. This is part of the Islamic rulings. So this is blocking the means or warding off harm. When it's necessary, we do it. However, necessity is something that is a bit elastic. So not every necessity is justified to commit or to do something that is haram. And that is why there is a legal maxim that says, الضرورات تبيح المحظورات. Necessities call for making some restrictions permissible. But this is not open to anyone's guess or to do whatever you want, because there is another legal maxim that governs it, and that is الضرورات تقدر بقدرها. That whatever is essential or necessary is evaluated, it's estimated according to its proper size. So one says, I am in desperate need to do something haram because this is necessary. So what is your necessity, akhi? Explain it to me. And he gives you something that is not legitimate. He says, I have to be watching this documentary. It's very urgent for me. It's necessary for me. And there is music, and there are women, there are haram things to be said. What is your excuse? He said, I have to kill time. And if I don't kill time, I get depressed and I get bored, and it's permissible for me to do haram. This is wrong, totally. Therefore, to answer this question, Akhi Ibrahim, we have to look into your country, your environment, and we have to look at the impact on you. You said that you're very anxious about this, meaning that if you feel that this would negatively affect you, or it would drive you to fitna, or into falling into relationships, this is totally prohibited. But if it's something that is normal in your country, and you have strong iman to the extent that you lower your gaze, you do not engage in socializing or chit-chatting, only a word for a word, only what is necessary for your studies. And we know that studying is essential for a male in any country in order to get a better job or to get something that would help him in bread earning. In this case, this is a different situation, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Ahmed from